Have you ever wondered what advice your older, wiser self would give you today? Join us as we celebrate our 150th episode as we explore how to live life more intentionally and become our best, most fulfilled self. Today, we're going to discover some simple tips, as always, and insights to guide you on this transformative, game-changing journey that will help you take your life to the next level. So stay tuned, my friends. Hey parents, welcome to Fulfillment Therapy. Do you want to raise your kids better and have a stronger marriage? Are you up late at night researching marriage and parenting tools and self-care tips? Do you start each day hoping for deeper connections and less chaos, but it ends with family arguments and going 12 different directions again? My name's Kendra, wife, mom, therapist, and growth enthusiast. It wasn't until I discovered how to fulfill my unmet needs that I was finally able to show up as my best self, as a spouse and parent. I realized that by meeting my needs, I could more fully meet the needs of my family with more energy and less resentment. In this podcast, I teach parents skills like boundary setting, prioritizing personal needs, communication, and claiming ownership. Just like my clients, you'll be shocked by the improvement in your marriage, parenting, and personal life when you focus on fulfilling your important, unmet needs. Ready to prioritize yourself so you can quit mentally throat punching people? Then grab those earbuds and head outside, and let's walk and talk. Welcome back to episode number 150, Living with Purpose, Insights from Your Wisest Self. I don't know how many of you listen to other people or books online that talk about becoming your best self, becoming your most fulfilled self, your wisest self, leaning into becoming who you were meant to become. But all of those things I eat up. I just love living an intentional life. And it's one of these topics that I'm quite passionate about and that I've based this whole podcast and my whole business on is becoming our best self. Because I see the ripples that creates in not only our lives, but like I always say, in the lives of our families. And if we could just see the ripple effects that causes in the good that we are doing personally and how that affects our children and then on and on and on. And not just with posterity, but also with friends, with lives that you touch. I love that. I wish I could see those ripples with like a camera to see how many people are impacted by even just the smallest thing. So I want to talk about these things today, like I said, in celebration of episode number 150. But before we do, just a quick reminder to check out the show notes and find us in all the places. Sign up for our weekly emails, find us on social media, and get those daily reminders of how to become your best self, how to help yourself personally, how to help your marriage improve, and how to help your parenting improve. All right, now let's get back into the topic for today. Imagine you're reaching the end of a long, fulfilling life. It's just beautiful. Just imagine it as much as you can. You've experienced so much. You've achieved enormous things. And you've gathered these profound insights. Well, what would your older, wiser self say to you now? When we reflect on this question, it can offer some invaluable guidance on what truly matters in our life. Today, I'm going to walk you through a life reflection exercise designed to help you channel this wisdom and apply it to your present day life. I really like Carl Jung, and this is one thing he said. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. Isn't that beautiful? So let's talk about reflecting on accomplishments and experiences. Looking back, what accomplishments or experiences or realizations will matter most to you? You may want to pause this and grab a notebook or something to reflect on this, because this is a little bit more of a reflective episode. So going back to these questions, maybe the things that matter most are the love you've shared with your family, or the personal growth you've achieved, or the positive impact you've made in your community. When you reflect on these things, it can help you identify what you truly value. And I love doing these exercises every time I have new insights. And even if you've done something like this before, it's valuable every time. So here's a little tip for you. Take some time to write down the achievements and experiences that you hope will define your life, and consider how these align with your current actions and decisions. Brené Brown says this: daring to set boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves, even when we risk disappointing others. So the reason I bring that up is about courage. It's about letting go of what others expect. And when we take that time to reflect on our achievements and our experiences, and if we are currently aligned with what it is that we want to bring and living in alignment with our values, sometimes that means having courage to change things up, even if it means disappointing other people. Okay, let's talk again about how you want to be remembered. I want you to think about how your loved ones will remember you. Do you want to be remembered as a kind person, a loving person, or supportive, or funny, or how do you want to be remembered? Maybe you want to be remembered as someone who is inspiring or that had a lot of purpose and passion. So the tip here is to reflect on the qualities and behaviors you want to be remembered for. Make a conscious effort to embody these traits in your daily life and explore how you might be able to do that. Just jot down a few ways that you could imagine yourself doing that. Nina Easton says this: at the end of life, what really matters is not what we bought, but what we built. Not what we got, but what we shared. Not our competence, but our character. And not our success, but our significance. How will you share your significance? How will you show up in your character? What did you share with others? What did you build? Let's talk about your wisest self again. What advice would your future, wiser self give to your younger, present day self? This could be about embracing your true passions or letting go of those unnecessary worries. I know a lot of us as parents do that. And prioritizing meaningful relationships. So here's another tip. Write a letter from your future self to your current self. Include advice on how to navigate challenges and make decisions that will align with your deepest values. And what I have my clients do is they write a letter from their future self to their current self. First, I have them list all of the things that they are working on and what life looks like currently in present day. And then all of the ways that they have overcome that and have become their higher self, and the advice that they would give to their current self. And it is so amazing and beautiful to see that come to fruition. And then I future send that email to them 6 months later. And then we just keep doing it every 6 months, where they are able to continue to learn from their future self in such a powerful way that reshapes our brain. And we know that that happens based on all this research on neural pathways. So include advice on how to navigate those challenges, like I said, and make those decisions that really do line up with your deepest core values. Now let's talk briefly about setting goals and then values a little bit more. So based on the advice of your wise self, or your wisest self even, what goals or values emerge as the most important ones? These are the core values that I talked about. These could be related to personal growth or family or health or community involvement, whatever it might be. But be careful that you don't get into the trap like a lot of my clients do, where they pick the values that they think are most appreciated by society or by their family. For example, spirituality. And I'm not saying that shouldn't be your highest one, but maybe you say spirituality is your highest value, but your actions don't reflect it. So either that's not really your highest value, or you're not living in alignment. So just examine that. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's being compassionate and charitable. Maybe it's creating quality time. Maybe it's quality family time. Like there's many things that it could be, and you could just do a quick search for values on the internet. I know I have several as well. I'll try to remember to put that in there, but I don't always. So let me know if you need that. The tip here is to identify those specific goals. Keep in mind, specific here, not just, I want to bring world peace, for example. That's too general. And then those values that resonate with you. Develop a plan to integrate these into your life. So set these realistic goals and make them into actionable steps to honor them and to live in greater alignment. Ralph Waldo Emerson said this: "The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, and to make it have some difference that you have lived and lived well." So if you're just seeking just happiness from like this selfish stance in a way that doesn't benefit others, you're not going to be happy. But to be useful or honorable or compassionate, that is really when you live well and live a fulfilled life like I talk about. Okay, how do we live a more intentional life? To truly become our wisest, most fulfilled self, we really want to live with intention and purpose. So what does that mean? This means making deliberate choices that align with our values and our goals, like we just listed out. Hopefully you paused that and wrote some of those things out. And this will help us be more present in each moment. Like if you are living a life aligned with values and goals, you are going to naturally be more joyful and happier and excited about those moments and be able to live in that moment a little more. Now that does take practice. It's not just a simple thing. I struggle with that all the time. But one tip you can do is to practice mindfulness and self-reflection exercises regularly. So the things I talk about in these podcast episodes very much will help you live a more intentional life, which is the whole point of fulfillment therapy. Set aside time each day to review your actions and make sure that they align with your long-term vision of your life. That is why I love a paper planner, although some people are like, no, only the other one. But I love the reflection that I can see with that pen in my hand. Like every single day, for example, this is a quick tip that I do. I write out what I want to accomplish before the day even begins. Oh, no, actually, the first part of the day, I also write my top 3 priorities out of all those things. And at the end of the day, I check mark it. Did I do those things, especially those top 3 things that were most important to me and that were aligned with my values? And then at the end of the week, I share my usually my top 5 greatest wins, and not only my professional life, but my personal life. And then every month I do that as well. And every year. So I'm constantly building just a little bit. Now that might feel daunting to you, but it only takes a couple minutes every week. It is not that big of a deal. So the tip here then is to take that time each day to be more intentional. You can do it like I do it or another way. I love Jim Rohn and a lot of the things that he teaches, and he says, your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. So are you going to change, or are you going to risk it to chance and just live life in a complacent way, half asleep? Now let's apply these concepts that I've just taught you to parenting. How can we apply these insights as a parent and become our best selves? Well, when we do apply these tips that I talked about, we become a powerful example to our children, and we teach them through that example the importance of living a life of purpose and integrity. So the tip here is involve your family in these discussions about values and about goals and your why behind it. Like, why are we doing these things? And create that family mission statement that reflects your collective vision and aspirations. And now that I think about it, I don't think we've done one as a family for quite a while. I think we did when they were younger, but that might be something to revisit if you're like me and you haven't done that recently. So celebrating our 150th episode today is a testament to the power of community and shared wisdom. So thank you so much for being a part of this journey. I'm so excited to continue to grow and learn and fulfill our potential together here and spread those amazing positive ripples. I wish you could have in your mind the visual that I have, because every time I say that, I think of like these electric ripples rippling out, and just how far they can go because they're lit up, and you can see just how much impact you create in the world based on the good that you are putting out and how you are trying to be a good person and become who you were meant to become. I'm excited to continue doing that together for hundreds of more episodes. I hope that I can continue doing this for a long time because it fuels me and it fills me, and I hope it does the same for you. So thank you for joining us on this special episode of Fulfillment Therapy today. If you found these insights helpful, please subscribe and share this podcast with others who you think will benefit from these things. Here's to living a more intentional and purposeful and fulfilling life. Until next time, my friends, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and don't forget to follow us on social media for more inspiration and tips. And may you celebrate life today and listen to your wisest self and have a fantastic day. I'll see you back here in just a few days. Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, chances are someone else would too. Would you take 30 seconds to share this with a friend who's looking for greater family fulfillment? And while you're sharing, tell me what you think about the show by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. It refuels me when I hear this podcast is helping you. No matter what your house or your hair looks like, I'll meet you back here every Monday and Thursday morning for more episodes. Until then.